Let's get this show cracking. Welcome back to an episode of Content and Cash. Y'all know how we do it here. Y'all know how we do it every week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. So let's get into it. Because from camera prices spiking to De Niro building skyscraper studios for virtual content, the content creation game is changing fast. Trump's tariffs are hitting both Hollywood and your lens budget. So you know what we got to do? We got to break it down. Here's what content creators need to know. But first, we got to roll that intro. Let's do it.
You're listening to Content and Cash, a Flash Film Academy podcast. If you want to learn how to take pretty pictures, this is not the place. But if you're ready to make a living by learning the business behind the camera, buckle up, because it's time to turn passion into profit with your host, Ty Turner.
What's cracking, everybody? We got a crazy show today, and we're going to get right into it. We updating the format of the podcast to make sure I punch you in your throat with as much content as possible, as fast as possible, all right? So again, if this is your first time on the channel, my name is Ty, and this is Content and Cash, the only place teaching photographers and videographers the content and creators how to build the business side. I'm over here tripping. So we don't just build portfolios, we build businesses. So before we dig deep into today's topic, because we got some stuff we got to go into, very important things that you need to know about. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's do that. Hit that subscribe button, and then we can keep it moving. All right. No matter where you're watching, how you're watching, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. And we're going to keep bringing that tactical heat every week. All right. First things first, let's get into camera news. Let's just talk about a few things that's on the minds of content creators these days. And Trump proposed 100% tariff on foreign made films. Trump is proposing 100% tariff on all films made outside the U.S., aiming to bring production back home. It's a big move, but that's if it go through. You better believe indie filmmakers in the U.S. will kind of have a shot at stepping in and adding more content, to the plate. Let me be real with you. I'm not crazy about it. I'm just going to be 100% with you. What about movies like Mission Impossible, 007? What about movies that take place outside of the U.S.? I'm not sure how the tariffs are planning on working, but I'm not crazy about it. That's just me. I think it limits your ability to tell a story if you're subjected to only being in one place. I don't like that. So what if I want to tell a story in London? What if I want to tell a story in Australia? Like, all great stories don't happen in America. That's just my opinion. So I'm not crazy about it. That's just me. We're going to get on tariffs a little bit later too, because next we're going to talk about Blackmagic Camera app. It adds ProRes and 10-bit 422. So Blackmagic just turned your iPhone into a camera rig, as it's been doing, with this new update that gives you ProRes and 10-bit 422 video. There's no excuses. No more blaming your gear. You can make dope content with your cell phone. And I want to kind of talk about why that's important, because if you think we're not, like, the camera industry is shrinking, the cell phone industry is taking off. I've been saying it for years. They're getting closer. You can be in denial if you want to. I'm not, because it's coming. Look at cell phone footage. Cell phone footage is about 3 years behind big mirrorless camera footage. 3 to 4 years tops. Because the cell phone footage now look better than most cameras 5 years ago. Most video, it looked better. It looked way better. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Next story, we're going to talk about Robert De Niro, Vertical Studio. Right? De Niro just launched, or he kind of backing the studio. It's not his studio, he's backing it. But it's a studio called Wildflower Studios. It's a skyscraper in New York with 11 stages stacked vertically. Right? And the point is, this studio is promising to specialize in vertical content, right? They only creating vertical content. If you think it's not a place for vertical content, you're crazy, because the numbers of vertical content, of how much vertical content that's getting consumed is outrageous right now. Of course, it's on your cell phone. So it's a lot. Last but not least, the last story of the day is Trump's tariffs. Slam the camera industry. Leica raised prices by 7%. Canon and Fuji are following, and Blackmagic pulled the plug on the U.S. factory plans. So the new tariffs aren't just headlines, but they're hitting your gear and your budget. And, you know, when I was at NAB, that's the number one concern I heard from business owners out there saying, look, we don't know. We don't know what the price is going to be. So let me ask you a question, though, for the comments, wherever you're watching, if it's on Spotify, if it's on TikTok, if it's on Instagram, has the price jump made you delay any upgrades? Or are you like, look, let me buy it now before the price get crazy? I'm curious to know if you one of the ones that's like, let me buy now or let me wait to see where things go. I don't know. You know, honestly, I don't see things going down. I just don't. I see things going up. So anyway, next segment, we're going to talk about how to close more clients, even if they ghost you after the first conversation. And we're going to talk about how to do it using AI. But first things first, if you don't have it, you can go over to Flash Film Academy and you can check out our Capture and Convert kit. It's 2 easy payments of free 99. It's free. Free 99. Capture and Convert kit. I knew it was going to be loud, but 5 courses, 2 ebooks. Let me be real with you. If you like, I don't know if I should be a Flash Film Academy member, that's enough content to get you a client to pay for years of being a Flash Film Academy member. Let's just be 100. I'm giving you the game. Anyway, let's get to the next one, right? Because I want to talk about how to use AI to build a follow-up sequence that closes clients. And I think a lot of people aren't looking to use email this way or AI, but I think that I just want to give you a simple tip that you should be using. And these are some of the things we talk about over at Flash Film Academy. So if you're not a member, consider joining. But these are some of the things we like to put in place to help make sure we close clients. Now, I want to kind of just talk a little bit or go on a rant because I tell y'all all the time, and I just want to be very transparent. On YouTube or other paid or other free social media platforms, a lot of people give you the ingredients all day. You need the recipe, though. You need to know what, when, how, where this needs to fit into your business to get maximum use out of what I'm about to teach you. All right. It can be done, but to get maximum use, you need some things in place. All right. I say that to say, as we move forward, just keep that in mind. All right. So we want to build a follow-up sequence that closes clients. And that's the goal. And we're going to use AI to do that. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to do it. Because most of y'all lose clients after they show interest. It's not because of pricing. It's because you stop showing up. So this is how to flip the script using AI. I'm going to give you 3 steps for an AI follow-up system that you should be using. And what I like to do is I like to use this in an email sequence. So I'm creating an email sequence. I'm going to give you the tips on what you should create, and you can kind of feed this idea to ChatGPT to create an email sequence for you. So day one, what I'm doing is called the value bomb, right? Where you send your proposal, of course, you send in your proposal with a quick video breakdown. And I want you to use ChatGPT to script the video. Explain exactly how you'll solve their problem. Right? That's what email 1 and video 1. You can use Loom if you choose to. Now, day 3 is the next one, right? Because we don't want to do the next day. We want to give them some time. So day 3, I like to send what's called an objection killer. Hit them with a 1-pager that covers frequently asked question, ROI, testimonials. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure we let AI help you generate that cheat sheet. Don't go into it by yourself. And look, keep this in mind, because this is why I like to do niche. Niche is so important, because if you live in a niche, you don't have to recreate this wheel over and over again. It'll be a one-size-fits-all for every client that you run across. So if you're doing this for every client, it's because you don't have a niche and you're trying to sell too much to too many people, and it's going to be very difficult to get it right. All right. Number 3, let's go to number 3. Number 3 is the final nudge. I send this out day 6, the final nudge. I send a scarcity based message. So only two content windows left for this month. Let AI help you write that into your Let AI help you write it in your brand's voice with urgency. So I like to make sure, and this can be depending on whatever your niche is, there's seasons for your niche. If your niche is wedding season, hey, we're getting to the end of wedding season. If it's seniors, we're getting to the end of senior photography. If it's headshots, maybe we're getting to the end of a sale that you're running. There's ways to push urgency. If it's product photography, guess what? It may be time to get Christmas images done. So you can use a lot of different ways to add urgency. Now, for my members over at Flash Film Academy, they know I go even deeper with this because there's different layers and different things that I set up based on the season that you could also be using to add urgency. And we'll talk about that on the member side of things. All right. We'll talk about that over there. We ain't gonna keep y'all too long. Those who want to know can know. So that's how you scale without burn up. Maybe it got the call to action is like a Zoom call or something like that. All right. So I personally and some of the members built a sequence in under a day that closes 3 maybe clients without another Zoom call. And that's the goal. You want to get it where the clients that are on the fence feel enough personal touch enough where they feel like, okay, this guy he own it. They own it. They contacted me. And I'm gonna give you an example. Look, I'm gonna flip it because anybody who's worked in the restaurant industry know that managers have to do what's called table touches, right? And it's just them coming out saying, hey, how's your meal? I'm sure you've been eating and the manager or the cook or chef come out and you're like, what are you doing out here? But they have to do what's called a table touch to ensure quality. So these are kind of like table touches, right? They just follow up with the client to kind of just touch them and say, hey, we still here. How things going? How can I help you? What questions do you have? Or like I said, with the ROI and the objection killer, I like to get out front of questions because people are sitting on the fence. Let's eliminate that, right? And that gets easier when you live in a niche and you know what those objections are. If you just starting over and creating stuff, you're going to have a problem. All right. So drop a fire emoji in the comment if you ever lost a client because you didn't follow up fast enough. And let's talk AI strategy in the comments, because we use AI a lot for these. All right. So next segment, we're going to talk about flipping one-offs into monthly content retainers. We're not going to go a lot into it because it's a question and a segment. And we didn't get a question of the week. So I'm going to say, if you have a question, where my question of the week pop up at? If you got questions, we want to go to questions.flashfilmacademy.com. Submit those questions via text, video, or audio, and you can be on the next podcast. All right. So the question of the week last week, or the one we got in the community, talks about how do I turn a one-time shoot into a monthly client without being pushy, right? And we want to get tactical about the answer. First, we want to position yourself as a strategist, not as a shooter. And this is something we teach a lot in Flash Film Academy. We're not filmmakers, we're not photographers, we're not videographers, we're strategists. And we use the camera to complete the strategy. That's a whole nother mindset for the inside. If you're down, then you can go check that out. If not, don't worry about it. But we want to make sure we are a strategist. I don't go in their camera first. I go in their brain first. And it's a very big difference on how they treat you, how they pay you, how they listen to you, and how they trust you when you go in with that method. All right. So after the job, pitch 3 ideas for future content that solves business problems. For me, and it's something we talk about in the inside, we offer a lot of business calendars. I'm always presenting my client with a calendar of content, even if they only hire me for one video. But that's another technique we teach to kind of get the client to see the big picture. All right. Also, you can bundle it, offer monthly content kits, like 1 testimonial, 2 reels, and a hero video per month. That video was just your trailer. And if you're ready to tell a whole story, let's go into more detail. So you can kind of submit it like that to the client. Hey, we did your brand story. Let's do short videos that maybe lead them to that longer video. I know for content that's been really big, short video that leads you to longer video. That's kind of like the thing right now. If you watch a lot of like popular podcasts like Club Shay Shay and things like that. You'll notice that they post a lot of short form content that make you want to go back and say, you know what, let me watch the whole interview because this clip was good. So I like to use that method with my clients to answer short questions. And then we can pull them in and then answer more questions. So I'll give you an example. I got a client that we're working with that deals with a lot of PPF to protect your car, paint protection film. And we may do videos on, the top. Here's three reasons PPF is better than wax, right? So that video will pull you back to a video that explains more about the PPF that they offer and why their brand is the best brand. So things like that are really helping businesses bring in more clients. And we're creating videos, or we're using videos to create a funnel for the client. And that way we can get results with content. A lot of y'all just saying pretty pictures look great and all of that. But the goal is to get results with content. And to do that, you need to have strategy. All right. With that being said, I'm not going to keep y'all too much longer. If you got questions, I'm going to post it on the screen again because I want your questions. Bring it. Give me the hardest questions you got. And if I feel like, it's something that can be answered during the time of everything, I'll answer it. So here you go. Questions.flashfilmacademy.com. And, I'll leave it on the screen for a second. And listen, we always dropping content. We're always dropping courses. We just dropped a course on how to build a website. We just dropped a course on lighting and understanding how to create a cinematic look at a budget. And we're going to continue to put out great content to help you grow your business and grow your brand. When you're ready to stop, guessing and start getting paid, come on over and join Flash Film Academy, or just grab our Capture and Convert kit. All right. With that being said, keep in mind, every business around you need content. The question you got to ask yourself is, why aren't they hiring you? When you're ready to answer that question, come and join us at flashfilmacademy.com, and I will see y'all in the next episode of Content and Cash. All right? Hey, get in them comments. Let's talk. I love the feedback. Let's do it. See y'all in the next one.